Well, hey there guys, I'm Axel the Beast, and this is the Curiosity Shop, the ZeldaEngine.net video mailbag, where I answer your Zelda questions. Our first question comes from Caleb Simpson of Zelda Dungeon. Is any Zelda mystery hidden from you? Yeah, actually, there are a few things about the series I don't know. I mean, I haven't played every game, so while I read a lot about the series, there's a lot of things I haven't seen for myself, you know? And, additionally, there's, all kinds of, theories that people come up with that I haven't come up with myself, or I haven't heard about yet. All the time I read forums, and I see new ideas, or, even new ideas I hadn't thought of, or theories are brought up in the mailbag as I answer questions. So, you know, yeah, there are things I don't know, but I still think I managed to, do a pretty good job of answering your questions, although I bet now you guys are just gonna totally, like, try to come up with questions I can't answer. I bet you're gonna do that. Maybe not. Phantom Triforce asks, what did you think of the new Skyward Sword trailer? Ah, yes, the big news that I haven't gotten to cover in the mailbag yet. To answer your question, the new Skyward Sword trailer, I thought it was really good. It really got me excited about the game. It showed us a lot of interesting things. I mean, the like arcane technology in the video was kind of interesting, and, you know, it seems like I almost addressed that last mailbag. I'll go into that in a little more detail in the future, probably in its own video, but I thought the technology was interesting. I liked a lot of the new enemies and designs we saw. It definitely seems like they're going to focus on some, like, older enemies in the series, although there seems to be this weird mechanical thing going on. There's that new character. I'll get to that in a little bit in the next question, but, you know, there's just a lot of great things about the trailer. In some ways, it didn't show us as much as the old trailer did, but it still was a nice addition to what we know about the series, about the game, and I look forward to hearing a lot more. It was a good trailer for sure. What did you guys think of the trailer, though? Tell me in the comments. Juicy J asks, what do you think about the pale dude shown at the end of the Skyward Sword trailer? You know, he's probably the big news of the whole thing, you know? I think he's what everyone's talking about at this point. One thing that people bring up is he looks a lot like Vati, and I think there is a heavy resemblance, and given that Vati was theorized to be the villain of the game already, his, like, resemblance in skin tone, hair color, and general, like, I guess, feminineness, or whatever, is interesting, and, given some of the eye themes we've seen in some of the earlier trailers and screenshots, that's interesting. Another thing that a lot of people haven't been bringing up is that I really do think that he or she could easily be the girl from the old, promotional artwork that we saw before. Because there's a big resemblance in, again, skin tone and hair color. The hairstyle is a bit different, and the face is different, but the face was never defined in the old artwork. It was a very, vague face. Additionally, there's similarities to the cloak, although they are different, and the diamond pattern on the legs is the same. Or similar enough, anyway. Granted, it could still be a new character, but the fact that they look so similar makes me, like, reluctant to say that there could be another character that looks so much like that. People point to that little, icon in the corner that looks like, you know, like, calling for your helper character, but, and that it looks more like the Fairy Queen and not the new hairstyle we see, but that doesn't mean much, because it's a stylized little thing in the corner, and it may not even be a finished graphic. I mean, we'll have to see. They comment about him looking evil, but again, Midna looked evil. Additionally, I think it could support my theories I've mentioned in the past about the Dark Tribe. I'll go into it more. I wanted to do an article about this character, and as well as about the Dark Tribe, and I'll probably be putting those up on Zelda Dungeon in a week or next week or something like that, over the next 2 weeks, hopefully, and I'll go into more detail there, but that's my basic answer for now. Bryce Squires asks, in the new Skyward Sword trailer, the character shown at the end has a cloak with a design that looks identical to that of the Gilded Sword in Majora's Mask. That same pattern is shown on the character on his or her body as well. Do you think that there may be a new race of spirits of swords? I've seen those similarities. It was pointed out in an article by Locke just, like, last week, I think. And I don't think there could be any affiliation with the Gilded Sword, because the Gilded Sword was, first of all, created later on the timeline. It was just golden dust used to upgrade the Kokiri Sword. That's just not important to start. That's not an important sword. There's no way that would have a spirit. Second of all, it came into creation after Skyward Sword, which is, they've stated it's going to happen before Ocarina of Time. And last of all, if there was going to be a spirit, it would be the Kokiri Sword, not the Gilded Sword. I admit the similarities are pretty striking, but there's just no way they have that connection. As for the race of spirits of swords, I don't know. I think that the idea that there's like a race of swords is kind of weird. The possibility of there being an evil, version of the Master Sword or whatever, which is what the Skyward Sword is, because of this character similarity with the old artwork of the girl, is possible, although it sounds a little like a fanfiction idea. Not necessarily a bad thing, just saying it does sound a little odd. That's about all I can say about it, though. ZVZack2 asks, if you look back at the latest Skyward Sword trailer, that again, about 30 seconds into the video, Link pulls out the beetle and aims it at a ledge. There is a figure on that ledge that looks very much like the Skull Kid. If this figure is the Skull Kid, do you think Skyward Sword will have any ties to Majora's Mask? I've seen the figure that people have been talking about, and they've been talking about this a lot. He looks pretty much identical to the Skull Kid from Majora's Mask. Now, I doubt they're going to use that design again. Additionally, he looks identical to the Skull Kid wearing Majora's Mask, which is pretty much an impossibility in Skyward Sword, in my opinion, having that mask appear again. Additionally, I think that it's like this gameplay clip in the middle of a dungeon, which is not where I expect to see the Skull Kid. Granted, the Skull Kid could appear in the game, because he's an important character, and he has some mysterious qualities, and he appears in a lot of games, but I think his appearance in Skyward Sword in that situation is almost impossible. Some people say it's just a Skulltula. I don't even think that's necessarily a 100% necessary conclusion. I think it's just an abstract silhouette, and I think it's unimportant, too. I don't think it was supposed to be something we're supposed to be, like, theorizing about. I think it's just a minor thing that was just there in the background. I mean, of course, we have yet to see, but I don't think Skyward Sword is going to have these heavy relations to Majora's Mask, because I still feel that Majora's Mask's world is sort of a standalone aspect of the series. JJMF9 asks, there are rumors that in Skyward Sword there will be voiceovers for characters including Link. What are your thoughts on this? That's been a theory, like a rumor for a while, and I think it's actually been disproven by this point, debunked, I might be wrong on that, but even if it isn't, I mean, I think that they would have announced it as a major point by now. We see so many like clips of gameplay that, despite new control schemes and new art styles and ideas, looks pretty much similar to Zelda in that Link just grunts, he doesn't say anything. I think if they were going to be adding voice acting and adding that kind of cinematic, full talking feel to everything, they would have indicated it by now. And I think that this is definitely going to be like just strictly text Zelda game again, though I still do think that voice acting is probably going to be inevitable for the Zelda series. LOZ Master 85 asks, since Skyward Sword is the founding of Hyrule, do you think that Princess Zelda won't be in it because no royal family has been established yet? Well, let's put it this way. The logo of the game is the Hyrulean royal family's crest. So they're definitely going to be part of this game. I think we're going to see their founding, and considering how important Zelda is, not only to the series and how she's always appeared in most of the major console games, but also that she's important to the royal family. The founding of royal family should include Zelda. Perhaps the first Zelda, perhaps not even like a little girl, maybe actually like an older Zelda, I don't know. That, is the start of the whole, line of Zeldas. Granted, I think, Adventure of Link did that some, but, I don't know, the old games seem to have been sort of kind of ignored with a lot of the recent titles, so I'm not sure if they're going to stick with that or not. Or maybe they'll connect the two games, I don't know. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to see Zelda, especially if the royal family is important. Naruto Zelda asks, what are your thoughts on the two upcoming Zelda games having Wi-Fi compatible content? Do you think it is possible, and if so, what kind of features could be included? I don't think that's going to happen, largely because, Nintendo's tried multiplayer, and, online play is obviously a good fit for multiplayer, but I think that, while it was a good idea for the series, I think it's something that they're going to restrict to, the multiplayer games like Four Swords. I don't think that they're going to, attach it to all the existing games, and I think that, in general, the Zelda games should be constructed as standalone adventures and single-player games, and if they're going to do multiplayer Zeldas, they should be designed as such. I think with Zelda, at least, those don't necessarily go hand in hand. As for other Wi-Fi features, there's stuff like sharing secrets or trading items or whatnot, or achievements and stuff like that, which also don't feel like something Nintendo is going to apply to Zelda. Not that they're necessarily bad ideas, same with the multiplayer, really, but I just don't see it as something Nintendo would do when, it just doesn't seem like something they always connect to the Zelda series. They always try new things with the Zelda series. They don't do these online things. It's just not something that they do with Zelda. Zelda has always remained kind of detached from, I guess, the rest of the gaming world. Alright guys, that's it for this time. Be sure to send your questions to the contact page down there in the description. And I guess try to focus on these Skyward Sword questions for, like, I guess the next mailbag or so, since, you know, that's, like, the new news. But I won't restrict it to that. And I'll see you guys later.